I'm a bit of a control freak, so the fact that I can't press the button to move my slide along is really, really traumatising. So I was given the same brief, talk about yourself, which I soon discovered is the hardest brief you can ever be given. If you'd asked me to stand up here and talk about autism, tell me about disability, anything that's nice and factual, I could have been here for hours. Actually talking about myself is quite tricky. So I'm going to focus on why, because that's where I'm at in my development at the moment. So a little bit about me as we go through. My autism is also having a little bit of a flip that you didn't put the right slide up and all the formatting is off. So I'm really, really sorry because never mind, you'll have to decode it. That's what it's like having dyslexia. That's what reading is like when you're dyslexic. So I started my career here at the University of Wolverhampton. I'm now at the University of Birmingham. So I started a law degree. At that point I wasn't diagnosed and I left after a year because I didn't like being told what to think. Red flag. So I then went into sociology and politics, then went into teaching, which I've realised is a very autistic thing because we just don't like to leave school. We don't like change, we'll just carry on going in. There's a lot of autistic teachers out there. I left that because my little boy was in hospital all the time. So I thought, I don't like not doing anything, I'll go back to university. Didn't know I was ADHD at that time either. Another red flag. So I thought, hey, I'll do a master's, that'll keep me busy. And then carried on to doing my PhD after that. There's going to be a lot on here. A lot of all my images and that sort of thing are on a resource I developed for the University of Birmingham, but it is open access, so you should be able to access it. So I've put the link on the bottom there. Please feel free to look at it whenever you want to. I am a mom and I've got 3 neurodivergent children. We have got a wealth of labels in our household. We very much collect them. I currently am, while working full-time, dealing with the labels of emotional-based school avoidance, anxiety, reactive mutism. I'm homeschooling because we can't get into the school building, and he's nearly been out of education now for 2 years while we wait for the local authority to pull their finger out. Rant over. This is what I'm working with at the moment. It's my little robot. We're doing some robot research, but I'm going to move on because otherwise I will be here all day. So I wasn't diagnosed autistic till I was in my 30s. I've got no concept of time. I don't even know how old I am now. I was diagnosed, I think, in my 30s. For the first time, I've got 2 autism diagnoses because I'm very special. Because the first one was private. And then I had to go through the NHS one, which, if anyone's gone through the NHS one, is painful. Tell me a story about a frog. It's a frog. What do you want me to tell you? End of assessment, you've got your diagnosis. Anyway, so I grew up not knowing why I didn't fit in. It wasn't until I started my ADHD medication that I really realised how much impact ADHD has, because on the day I don't take my medication, oh my God, it's horrendous. But I didn't know that growing up. And I think on the first day I missed it, I kind of went, oh my God, if that's how I've felt all my life, there's no wonder I've got mental health problems, because it was just horrendous. And I think that's really important, that people talk about, you ask for what you want, ask for what you need. Well, I don't know what I need because I don't know it's different. I don't know you do it differently. It's just my normal. So I grew up not knowing I was neurodivergent. I grew up with, I'm physically disabled as well, but nobody can see that. They look at me and go, well, you look fine. They don't know I'm in pain. Doctors just went, growing pains. 5 operations later, they still didn't know what's wrong with me, but hey. And mental health that goes alongside that. Yeah, that's gone. I don't know what's on my slides, to be fair. So I talk a lot about this, and a lot of this is on the slides, so I'm not going to go into it, but it's the good, the bad, and the ugly of masking. So I think it's really, really important that we recognise we all mask. It's a perfectly normal human thing to do. I don't talk like this when I'm at home. I'm very much in teacher mode. This is my teacher mask. When I sit down, I'll go, and the mask will drop. Perfectly normal. When you meet your future in-laws, you don't behave the same way as you do when you're away from them. But it's a short-term thing. Most people mask for a short-term period of time. So when it goes over a long period of time, like 40 odd years, it becomes a bit problematic. It starts having a long-term impact and you stop realising you're doing it. But actually it's really interesting. My youngest now is 13 and he will tell me he's masking, but he can also tell me that he has masked so long, he now automatically does it. I find it fascinating that he's 13 and he can articulate that. It's just a shame he can't articulate it to the people at school, but hey. And then you've got the ugly of masking, which is what I call the double masking problem, which is where in some situations I have to mask to pass as normal, and then in other situations I have to mask to pass as autistic, because I don't look autistic. I don't look like I've got ADHD. I've got a doctorate, so clearly you're not dyslexic. So I have to almost mask to be that person. So you're kind of stuck in this weird dynamic of I'm masking to be one thing, I'm masking to be another thing. So where the hell am I in with all that? And that's where I've kind of got to, of why I find it so difficult to talk about myself, because I think I've lost myself in all that a little bit. I've put on the bottom there about role identities because I use role identities to cover that. And I think it's really important to be mindful of that, because when that role is taken away, it can cause problems. So my role as a student when I was doing my doctorate was my identity. And the day that ended, the university takes it all away. Literally, they take your email address. You log on everything that day. The day after, I was so traumatised because it was like, who the hell am I now? So I think just be really mindful of that, but without going into too much detail. Go on. If I'm talking too fast, blame her, she only gave me 10 minutes. Yeah. So the journey to authenticity includes everybody. I think it's really, really important we focus a lot about what the autistic person needs to do or the neurodivergent person needs to do. Actually, this is what everybody needs to do. And I find it really peculiar because actually, to me, I don't understand what this obsession is with normal, because there literally isn't such a thing. I just don't get it. It's completely illogical to me. And there is no, I don't know how to make people see that. But this kind of came out of my thesis, this sort of cycle of where we're at. We recognise ourselves as different to the norm, and we recognise that at different stages. Because of that, we start masking. That has mental health problems and reduces our sense of self. Because people only see the mask, and I think that's really important as well. People don't think I'm autistic because people don't see the real autism in me. I only give them the mask. People don't understand that, therefore we keep going round and round and round and round and round. The only way to stop that is there. We recognise ourselves as different to the norm and we all go, woohoo! Isn't that brilliant? End of conversation. All that disappears. We should be celebrating that from word dot. I'm a bit of a gorilla freak. This is my special interest, so that's hence the gorillas. We've already talked about spiky profiles, so I'm not going to go over that. Neurodivergent isn't static. We've got this obsession with, I'm autistic, therefore that's it. My autism 5 minutes ago isn't the same as my autism is now. My autism when I was 3 isn't the same as my autism now. We change, we develop. Our support structures aren't great at doing that. I love this. This isn't my work, but your difference plus your environment equals your outcome. So here, the environment is I've got to stand up in front of people, hence the emotions and hence the anxiety. So the outcome will be potentially a glass of wine later. But it's not just the difference. You've got to think about the environment as well. Okay? Unlearning is a process. I'm in the process of unlearning. I'm unlearning a lot. I've got 40 years of unlearning to do. I do some mentoring of university students, and I think every single time I meet with them, I have to use the saying, I can talk the talk, I can't walk the walk. I'm very good at telling them what you should do. I'm very good at saying stop shoulding all over yourself. I'm not actually very good at doing it, but it's a process. I'm learning it because there is this internalised ableism when you've grown up different of I should be able to do it. I should be able to get up that step. It's not that big. I should be able to read somebody's thesis because I'm a doctorate. I should be able to read it. It's quite hard to unpick that and sort of go, well, why should I? Who says I should? That's a really good way of, that's what I'm sort of training myself of why, who decided I should be able to do that? Who's told you that? It's almost, I do have a little bit of an argument with myself, but it's a process. This I find incredibly hard, and I wanted to put that on as a bit of advice from me of where I'm at, I think. Try and sit in the positives, because it is so unsettling. I don't know what to do with it, and all of that is because of this. I don't know what to do with the positives anymore. So if you can, when you feel that positive emotion, just try and sit in it just for a minute, 2 minutes, because over time that will get longer and longer and longer. I haven't figured it out yet. People will say, oh, you're doing a really good job. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I did that wrong. So I can't stand up here and go, I want to position myself as somebody who's got all the answers. I can't do that. What I did want to get across listening to everyone else is I got no support. I've had nothing. My English teacher in year 6 went, she's probably dyslexic, you know. And they went, okay. And that was it, end of conversation. I wasn't diagnosed dyslexic till university. And even at university, I didn't get any support. And I can be bitter about that a little bit. But what that's given me is resilience. And I'm bloody minded. And I've fought. And that's one of my strengths. So even if you've had, can I swear?
Yeah, go for it.
Even if you've had really, really shit experiences, you've got through it. Hold your head up high. You've got through it. You're sitting here today, and that's given you something somebody else hasn't got. And that's what I've got. I'm bloody minded, and my kids' teachers are getting the brunt of that, I think. I don't know if I've got any more slides. Have I got any more slides?
You've got 2 more.
Oh, gold.
But last one, then you got thank you.
Okay. This kind of a given on the basis seat here, but there is something weird about being in a neurodivergent space with neurodivergent people. They speak in a way that just makes sense. They actually say what they mean. There's something so freeing about talking to somebody that goes, I want a drink because I'm thirsty, or rather than, there's a bar over there. Yeah. I can sense when people are putting on a performance. I hate that feeling of you're not quite saying what you mean, because I think it taps into all those bullies and all those people that have said things that they didn't quite mean. So I'm really, really attuned into it now. We've got a neurodivergent staff group at the university, and it's just really, really bizarre. You kind of go in and I'll sort of turn up 5 minutes late going, I'm really sorry I'm late. And they're like, no, it's fine. Did you need a coffee? Yeah, I did. Oh, that's fine. It's just weird. So if you can connect with other neurodivergent people, do it, 100% do it. It makes such a difference. I think I've got a lot of the same celebrities. I absolutely hate that photo over there, so you're really honoured that that's there, because I can't stand myself in that photo. But I put that on there because they were my PhD supervisors, and they have been absolutely fundamental in getting me to the point I am now in my career, because they get it, but they've held my hand without being condescending. They've kind of gone, have you thought about doing this? What about this? They've just sort of guided me. And I think if you can find that person that you can trust to go, I can't do this, I'm really struggling with this, and just be honest about how you're experiencing it, and somebody that can just be in your corner, that's been fundamental to where I am now. So I think if you can find that person, whoever it is, use them and abuse them. Is that it?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
There we are.